Check, check. Quick sound check. Can everybody hear us loud and clear? What's going on, Coach Paul?
We can hear you loud and clear, Coach Jay. Welcome back. Volatility.
Welcome.
How are we doing?
Welcome to Volatility. Welcome to At the Buzzer, our market recap. This is your first time here. The goal of this segment is to review what happened in the markets for the day. We may talk about some markets that you have not traded before, but we believe our goal as traders is to identify opportunity. We want to see how we can take advantage of those opportunities while managing our risk. This is our first time meeting. I'm Coach Jay, been a Topstep performance coach since June of 2023, and that is Coach Paul. Coach Paul, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Coach Paul. I've been with Topstep since April of 2023. I've been involved in the futures trading industry for 4 decades. I'm here to share some experience, some knowledge, and hopefully help you become a better trader.
Awesome stuff. Thank you for that, Coach Paul. We do have a White House press conference coming on. The president was making an announcement. They were playing it during Power Hour. He was talking about drug prices right towards the end of it and his meeting with President Putin. I do have that playing in the background right now. You guys won't be able to hear it. I'm on headline watch just to see if anything does come out about the trade deal. If it does, we'll make sure to get that audio in here. But maybe seeing someone says, why is it dumping after the close? I wouldn't necessarily call that dumping. What we saw on Friday after the close was significant selling, right? Right now, that's just kind of price action. But if it starts to get aggressive, we will make sure we bring in the president's audio to hear what might be moving the markets or any headlines, if at all. Welcome to At the Buzzer, though. You are all our audience. We appreciate you being here. Let us know how you did in the chat today. Were you up on the day, down on the day, anything that you learned from the day? We are in the government shutdown still, day number 16. So it's interesting times. We are not getting economic data. Coach Paul, I don't know if you saw it, but we were supposed to get PPI this morning up until about 5 minutes before the number was supposed to be released, and then they pulled it off the calendars. Have you seen anything like this before?
Oh, no, absolutely not. No. Okay. I'm not shocked.
Right.
But I've made a distinct decision to just not follow it because it's that random. Like, why would they not put it out?
Right.
You start putting your tin hat on, and that just it gets me out of my trading mind. So I've never ever seen anything this random, ever. It's unprofessional.
Extremely random. Again, that government shutdown. We're supposed to be getting data. I know tentatively CPI is still on the calendar for next week, Friday. Again, PPI was on the calendar up until 5 minutes before, and it actually, you could tell that there might have been some algos that still expected that number. I know there was a Philly Fed number that came out around the same time, but the order books cleared at that time. Maybe, hey, we're getting the number, we're not getting the number, we're getting the number. Let's just prepare for volatility is what it seemed like. Also pinned in the chat, Coach Hoop put it, actually not pinned to the top of the chat, but Coach Hoop's message there, Topstep risk disclosure. Make sure you guys read through that. Basically what it is saying is that for any of the shows that you watch on Topstep TV, whether it be At the Buzzer, any of our London shows, Slow Markets, the daytime show, are intended for educational purposes only. That includes the classes we have in Discord as well. Nothing that we say here should be considered any type of investment or trading advice. Considerable risk with trading futures. So make sure you know exactly how much you're willing to risk and not risking capital that you cannot afford to risk. So thank you, Coach Hoop, for posting that Topstep risk disclosure. Again, it is on the Topstep site if you did want to read through that for yourself, but pinned in posted in the chat as well. Thank you for Coach Hoop. Anything you got on the news for today, Coach Paul?
Well, talks with Putin. China, not the headlines, but the different actions. I think things are ramping up on this trade war front.
It was interesting. We didn't really hear anything on it today. I thought we would. We didn't really hear too much. I know we have all the Fed speakers and they're saying whatever. But I think there was a lot of expectations that we were going to hear something from either China or the president. We didn't really get anything today, but the volatility is still there.
Yeah, it's just the silence is deafening, is the old term. And I'm watching gold as we speak, making another new high. It's got the feeling of something is, after was it yesterday's announcement? I forget what about there's a trade war with China. Oh, I don't know if that's really a headline, but
Right, right.
a flare for the obvious, maybe. But just the feeling of I'm got my spider senses that something big is coming through. Um, and the way gold is happening, dollar weekend today. Um, just like I said, it's kind of the lack of headlines
Yeah,
and the action that's following that gets it's heightened. You can just almost feel it.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like it's just there's a headline coming around the corner, right? There's a headline coming around the corner. So like JD says all the time, uh, keep one eye on the ditch. All right, let's take a look at the markets then. Let's take a look at our quote board. We got 36 different markets we can trade with top step accounts today. To the downside, we had natural gas down 2.62%. Micro Bitcoin futures down 2.81%. Shout out to Braden. Very nice trade by Braden.
Yeah.
I would just say during fast markets, but he held that trade pretty much all day. Micro Ethereum futures, our biggest percentage mover to the downside, down 2.98%. To the upside, we had gold up 3.11%, making new all-time highs. Platinum, is platinum on all-time high watch? Are we close in platinum? I know it was, or are we above
Good
all-time
question.
highs?
All-time high? No, but it was up $60.
Yeah, it was 3.61% on the day, and silver up 3.85%. It is metal season. Uh, Find a metal, buy it. It's probably going to go up. Again, that is not financial advice. We're just reading charts here, and they are continuing to rally pretty strong. Silver up 3.86% on the day, making a new all-time high. To talk about our big four, we had crude oil continuing to sell off here, closing here at 57.50s, down 1.32%. The S&P down 0.89%. We already talked about gold up 3.09%, and the Nasdaq ending the day down 0.63%. Shouldn't say ending the day. There's still a lot of time left. So that could change. But the Nasdaq down 0.64% right now. Let's pull up an S&P chart. We talk a lot about the Nasdaq. Let's pull up an S&P chart on the daily. What are we seeing here, Coach Paul?
Heavy. I know just still underneath the 20. It's between the 20 and the 50.
Yep.
We're still like we talked. The monster candle. We're still right in the middle of it. But what I'm noticing is look at the volume. All week it's been heavier than average.
Yep.
Seems to me that there's some liquidation going on just based on that. Key is that are we going to close below that 50 at the end of the week? Just the market feels heavy. But since Friday's action, we have not recovered over the 20. And we're getting heavy volume that seems to be liquidation. It seems to me there might be some larger liquidation by larger players. It's starting to feel bearish to me. How
Yeah.
about you?
A little bit. We can't hold a bid. We cannot hold a bid. We are still technically range bound. We are still in the middle of that Friday candle. Closed above the 50% of it yesterday. Closed below the 50% of it today. Kind of playing ping pong between these two moving averages, the 20 and the 50. But the daily ranges are continuing to increase. 84 point daily ATR, and today's range, even though this is still an inside candle, inside that Friday candle, is 144 points. So, today's market was not last week's market. It is completely different. It has changed. The environment's completely changed. And we're seeing that in the volatility, even though we're not necessarily going anywhere. Let's take a look then at the 30-minute chart. What is that white line? What is that white line? That white line for our new viewers is the 200 moving average on the 30-minute chart. We held above it in the overnight session. If we look at the overnight, where's my drawing tools? Up here. If we anchor a VWAP, I'm going to take some of these other moving averages off of here. We'll just look at the 200. We traded price-wise below this, Coach Paul. This is one of the things we look at as far as a setup goes. You identify a major level. We got this 200 moving average. We also have 6,700. Price tries to trade lower than it, but there's no volume in this move to the downside initially. Gave us a pretty nice rally in the overnight session through London and into the equity open. What are you seeing here on this 30-minute?
Well, I see a little pattern. We break hard during the day and we rally up overnight.
Yep.
And like propped up. I don't. And then the opening comes, and it's not an easy trade on the opening.
Nope.
It's kind of, but we're getting a little pattern. That's why I'm feeling bearish. It's the heavy volumes coming in on the sells. Look at every one of those heavy volume. It's a sell. It's a sell. Now and look at the 200 moving average. What's it doing?
Trending lower.
Trending lower. And we keep failing it. So that's but looking at that volume, I mean, it's selling volume. The highest. Look at from the yesterday, today,
Yep.
Monday.
It's all heavy. All heavy.
It's all heavy.
And holding the initial sell-off, right? That initial sell-off happened Friday. We understand that there are multiple time frame market participants, not only day traders. The swing traders look like they're still holding this. Where even yesterday, there's just anytime we get up towards these highs, we're seeing selling come in. It's happening in the Nasdaq, it's happening in the S&P, and I just think that uncertainty right now, the environment that we're having, there are some trades to the long side, but when we start moving to the downside on some heavy volume, it is a hard market to try to find a spot to buy it. Let's take a look at the New York session open. Let's change these to regular trading hour charts and take a look here. We opened up with a little bit of a gap. It was about a 0.5% gap in the S&P. And if we look, what did price do early? Chop around a little bit, right? This VWAP wasn't very directional. We had price leave the low of the 3-minute opening range. Volume didn't. We had price leave the high. Volume didn't. But when that volume started to come in and start to build a little bit, come down, close that gap, and just sell it. Just sell wherever you can sell.
Mortimer.
Yeah.
Sell more.
Sell it all. Sell more. We rejected right at 67.50s, paying attention to some of these whole number levels and the market's response to it. Right, price gets up there to 67.50. Volume doesn't trade above. We have a volume profile from yesterday. We traded what was value area high for the regular trading hour session, right to value area high and rejection. The market's comfortable in this range right now, which makes sense, right? Hey, everyone just escalated this trade war, but we're not hearing what the next step is. So why don't we just stay here for now until we figure something out? That range is just so big that it presents a ton of opportunity to us. But the market is this is a range bound market over the last 3 days. Anything else you're seeing here, Coach Paul, on the shorter time frame?
The shorter time frame, like we just said, looking at that too, we're getting volume after the opening that's buying. And this has become a pattern during the day, and it's the sudden swiftness.
Yep.
So those aren't, to me, from my experience, those aren't stops. It wasn't like someone bought the opening and then, oh, I got to get out.
Right.
This is like they're waiting, and then, okay, size, okay, sell it. Like, that's what I mean by this is heavy volume at near all-time highs. It just feels like liquidation, and we're seeing this pattern. I mean, it was not easy trade.
No.
I mean, look, we're going both sides of that opening range, but key was volume VWAP.
Never left to the upside. We said this during the opening call, kind of where we were opening. We hear Hogue say it all the time, right? We're opening in range and in value. What does that mean? If I look at a volume profile, we're going to change this back to regular trading hours. If I look at this prior day's volume profile, this value area is where the market was comfortable trading. We opened in that. So what we hear Hogue say all the time is we're opening in range and in value. We probably get better trade location later on in the day. And that's exactly what we did, right? That first half an hour to hour was tough because markets are open. We see the volume coming through. It's just like, all right, let's get some trades in. But the market is comfortable trading these prices, right? So we have to wait until it gets to extremes, that value area high, right? 67.50. And then we get a nice rejection. But, anytime I hear Hogue say that now, and it took me a while to really understand what he was saying. But anytime I hear him say it now, I pay attention, right? Because the market's comfortable trading prices. If the market's comfortable, that means we're probably not going anywhere early. So, wait for better trade location. The best trade location came 45 minutes into the open of the market today. That rejection at 67.50s. There was a question. Scott Welch says, if the time permits, can you guys go over what a J trade is again? Scott, I got you.
Well,
Even though I didn't get my 150 likes yesterday, so I didn't do the YouTube short, we'll go over it. And we're actually going to go.
Let's try that again today.
Let's try it again today. See what we can do,
Because
Chad.
one thing I was just going to say about a J trade, it's interesting. We did not find a J trade on or buying exhaustion on the highs today.
No, we didn't.
Look at that. It was an old term, price discovery at the highs. There was no volume. It was just trading price. And we didn't get a J trade on the bottom either.
So we got one, but it failed. We got one, and I see Frank in the chat. Frank took this trade. So this is technically one right here, right? Where this was the low of the day. Even if we check extended trading hours, this was the low of the day. And it did not hold, right? This is really showing us that there's not a bid in this market. We got highest volume of the day. We did close above it. And if you took that long, it's a pretty wide risk. Let's see, actually. 2 ATR risk, Coach Paul. In this case, we could risk the low of the range. We didn't even get a 1-to-1 on this trade, right? It was 15 points, 16 points at the high. 2 ATRs would have been 24 points. We didn't get a 1-to-1 on that either. Didn't we say this yesterday? There are going to be high probability trades that sometimes don't work, so you don't over leverage into them. Perfect example. Perfect example.
Yeah.
But oh man, shit! I gave away the secrets without getting the likes.
Oh.
Now I got to find another secret to give away.
Turn the machines off.
All right, restart the stream. We'll try it again tomorrow. No, but this is that trade, right? We closed above the high, looking to take a long. It's just the flow was heavy enough to the downside today that we couldn't push above, right? We could not continue higher. One of the things I like to do with these trades, if I'm taking them, is anchor a VWAP to it, right? Similar to what we saw on the opening range, where price traded above the opening range, but volume didn't go with it. That's telling us that there's a high probability that we come back to volume. If we look at this J trade, and if you took it, right, and we talked about this yesterday, Coach Paul, what makes this an A+ is if that volume leaves the range. It's a B because volume left, but this makes this A+ if volume leaves the range with it. Volume didn't go, we come back into it. So, maybe that's an added confluence to this trade setup if you're taking it. If volume leaves, then there's a high probability that we get that continuation. But this volume from this event, from this highest volume, the VWAP from this highest volume event never left that range to the upside, which is telling us that this is kind of empty up here. Still a 16-point trade, you could take that. I mean, I would love 16 points in the S&P if I can get them. But if you were looking for more, the market just wasn't willing to present that today with no volume kind of continuing to push here.
Well, another thing, it just shows how heavy this market is.
Agreed.
I'm glad you said it. Hey, if someone tells you that this works all the time, run.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Run away. Run far away.
So now With that said, too, I didn't see that. I was looking at the 5 minute.
Okay.
Um, what I will take though, if I'm short and I see that, I'm covering, and I don't worry about it. Oh, if it makes another, so if it didn't hit my, if if I'm short coming in there and I have profit, right, and I have a take profit that's lower, and I don't get hit yet, I have new information. I would get out. So it's not always just about buying, but take that. I'm done.
Yep. Yeah. Uh, there was another decent trade off of high volume today, but here's a perfect example of the market respecting volume. I took this trade just doing, see some decently high volume at the lows here, uh, doing a session with our VIPs, and we're holding this, right? You see how we continue to hold 50% of that? I took this trade to the long side. I think I was long from 66.51. You see where we rejected? I don't know why they continue to do this, Coach Paul, but they can't trick me. They can't, they're not tricking me. I was looking for 66.85 as a target, which was back up at the high of this candle. This 50% line, and this is 50% of this highest volume 3-minute candle here. Perfect rejection off of it. So I have to manage the position. I could want this to go higher, but I see this happen so many times that I can't ignore it. And if I ignored it, this comes right back down to my entry. Maybe I get 3 points on this trade instead of the 16 that I did, right? So when I think, you know, we hear people say you don't get smarter when you put a trade on, but you do get new information. If I have a profit target, and Coach Paul, you say this all the time, if I'm short, and you just said it, if I'm short here and I see this, maybe I'm starting to get out of my trade because this is a potential reversal signal. Potential reversal signal.
With one thing, and just to clarify it, before we broke that range with the high volume,
Yep.
we broke to the low side. We did not hold that. We had a lower price, did we not?
This one here.
Yeah.
Yep, we
Is that
did.
a lower price?
Yeah. Yep, we did trade lower than it. Yep, we didn't close outside of it. We traded lower than it.
All right. It's something I'm watching, and
Good point.
now maybe it means nothing, but
That means a
it's
little
something.
bit. It means a little bit.
I mean, it just it didn't clear right, it cleansed right,
Right.
but still, I'm taking that. I'm short, and I've got money. I'm done.
Yep. Good
So
stuff. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. So that was that J trade. We're still going to condense that into a 30-second video. I've already written the script for it, but I need 175 likes on this video, and I'll release it. I'll record it and release it. I already have the script written out. 30 seconds. Explains the trade. But
where's the likes?
if you can do us a favor, somebody came into Slow Markets yesterday with Dakota. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'll explain my trade, but I need 600 likes." And they're just like, "This guy's begging for likes. Like, we don't charge anything for this. Free education. Uh, free education. But we appreciate you all joining as always. All right. Anything else you got on the equities? S&P, the Nasdaq did something very similar. We did look above. Let's check the regular trading hours. We looked above yesterday's range. But if we put up a volume profile from yesterday as well, looked above yesterday's range. Volume didn't. Price did. Yesterday's range high. Look at all that price action above. What did volume do? It never went with price up here. Now, the question is, where is the turn? A lot of times traders try to find out exactly how to catch this high. It's a hard thing to do. I took a gold trade on the show earlier. We're going to go over that trade in a little bit. I don't know that this is going to stop here. I can have a hypothesis that it's going to stop there, right? Maybe you use a daily ATR measure. You look at a high volume, a whole number level or something like that. But if we start to break above yesterday's high and we see this, Coach Paul, how do you know when to short? if you're going to take a short.
Well, you don't, or I don't.
Right.
I actually, that to me is kind of random. Um, and you look at VWAP, it's showing it's really just trading bid and offer
Yep.
in a relative way. And it's not bid, but there's nothing to see here. At least the way I look at it, I'm like, well, that I need some movement or a trap buying, trap selling.
Yeah.
That's where the discipline comes of not to get in until you see something.
Right.
Now, we frame out that open. And where do we break out of? Both upside, downside, but continuation. This is a downtrend.
Yep.
Go with the trend. But even then, that's it's a tough. It was a tough trade. But what I mean by tough is it took some patience. Now, if we put in a volume profile and start going through it
From the day,
from the
regular
from the
trading hours.
beginning, yeah.
All right, let's clear up some of this.
Now, because it's measuring a distribution of volume, is there something in that right there that gives us any information? No.
Hold
Kind of
on one
flat.
second. Hold on one second. We're gonna change this up a little bit. We're gonna use the developing POC. Pretty flat. Pretty flat.
Now, once we get above, so I mean, there was a chance there, but to buy it,
Mm-hmm.
but its trend has been down. Where did it fail? It flipped right there. At that bar when we got below both the VWAP,
This here.
yep, and the developing point of control. So let's think about that. All that buying, where to get it?
Nowhere.
So the volume, the average volume, failed, and VWAP failed. Now, the way I look at that, I don't remember this is because I used to get caught in those. You got trapped buyers, and this is where being disciplined. Let's say you bought it and you didn't, because it happened viciously. I mean, it just was whether it's something came out, but okay, knowing that you're fighting the trend, you're fighting volume. And otherwise, if you're patient and you wanted to sell it, to me, that's the best sell of the day.
Back
I
under this
don't really
VWAP under the
know.
point of control.
Yeah, that selling at the high of the day is kind of lucky. Do you get that every day? Is that something you're going to repeat? I don't know. I've been around. Every time I sell the high of the day, 99% of the time, what happens?
Keeps going higher.
But why I'll bring that up is that's a good definition of failed buying.
Right. That point of control did stop, right? From the overnight, it did flip up for the New York session, and then it just stopped moving, just like VWAP did. This is kind of empty price action up here, where price stopped going higher. Eventually, we see price like to come back to volume, and then the volume continues to sell it from here. Nice trades there. Nice trades there. VWAP never got above major level 25-100 or above yesterday's value area or range. Interesting stuff to look at there. A lot of times breakouts do fail. Anything else on the equities? Real quick look at the Russell. Uh, Russell just got smoked today, down 2
Russell wasn't fooling around.
2.23% down today. Another
Yeah,
market where let's just quick look at this volume profile from yesterday. We looked above value from yesterday, but
but the
volume for the day never got above value from yesterday. Price went. Price is just an advertising tool. Volume is going to tell you if there's actual potential behind this move, and there wasn't. Uh, and they sold that shit off right back to the lows. And I think there's still more room lower.
yeah, and look at what happened when the New York opened. Let's frame that
Oh
out.
yeah,
We have this information from last night.
yep. So last night, let's
Now,
change this to regular trading hours.
yep,
Take this developing off. Here is the New York session open. And excuse my language, chat. Sorry about that, but that was an aggressive sell-off.
yeah, potty mouth. We had what is that called to our
That is called
veteran at the buzzers? What
that
is
is
that
called
called?
urgency. That is called urgency.
Absolutely. Um,
That is called. Bears said yesterday. We said the Russell was a better buy. Bears, look at the Russell Russell chart yesterday compared to today.
yeah,
What was a better buy yesterday? Was it the Russell or the Nasdaq? But what do we also say all the time? Markets change. If you're holding on to information from 24 hours ago, take a trade. Probably not a good idea, right? Because the markets change all the time, and especially in this extreme uncertainty that we're in, I take what I say with a grain of salt if I'm using it for strong information for tomorrow, especially in this uncertainty. It's showing patterns, right? It's showing patterns of strength. But if the market is selling, and I say that's called holding on to a bias for too long. Strong
well,
opinions, loosely held, is the way to stay alive in these markets. And I'm saying that as the person who gave out that information yesterday. We're day traders at the end of the day. Go ahead, Coach Paul.
let's take that. Okay, I want to own it. Now we're day traders.
Right,
Doesn't mean I have to buy it and be take a beating.
right.
So let's, especially with the Russell, wouldn't trade that overnight with your money. Just, but let's day. I want to buy it. Let's find a space to buy it according to our rules.
Right.
What's the first 3 minutes in the day?
Never gave us a reason to buy it. So even if I wanted to,
Yep. Doesn't mean you need to marry it, pay child support. Forget. Yeah, it's kind of a prenup. You don't need to. Yeah. Now, according to the rules that we're given, that we talk about, especially in the Russell, it's not an overnight trading vehicle.
yep.
I really don't like to trade equities overnight. That's what gold is for and currencies.
Man, is it?
But there you go. I mean, it would talk about if heck. Now, keeping an open mind, what do I see right away? Urgency to the sell side.
Yep.
Now, without having a bias, okay, sell one, risk, 2-to-1 trade, but it kept on going lower. And by the way, the 2-to-1, I don't know, it could be 3-to-1, it could be 2.5-to-1. But right here, because you don't, I can say, well, look, I should have held it all day. Don't get caught in that trap. The only way to do that too is keep your original stop in. And that takes a lot of intestinal fortitude. But there you go. That's urgency. I don't want it. You can have it. It's not a buy. My best German singing.
All right. Really nice trade here in the Russell to the downside today and down 2.25% on the day. How does one get their hat for reaching 10K in payouts? I've waited like 4 years for this hat. Don't worry, it's coming. I actually think that program is on hold for right now. Are reworking, the team's reworking exactly what how that uh rewards program works. But if you're on the list and you applied for it, when we open it back up again, you should get it. Consider it a surprise, right? You might just get a ring at your doorbell one day. Somebody drops off a box, and it'll be your 5K payout hat. And then when you get it, make sure you show it on social media. Hey, coach, what's your favorite order flow tools? For me, VWAP, just a normal volume indicator, and the depth of market, pretty much. What about you, Coach Paul? Any favorite order flow tools you have?
VWAP.
There you go. It aggregates it all.
And I should say the volume profile.
There you go.
Combine those, and the order flow. To me, order flow, and just from my order flow is really the volume. What it goes back to the bid offer size, and it's an auction. Everybody's got a bid and offer, but where's the size moving? Volume will tell you the size.
Yep.
There was, in this example right here, there was what? Volume to the sell side. Buyers, but it was like hot potato. Here, you buy it. No, I don't want it. I could turn around. We'll give the example. Coach, what's your bid?
I'm buying 5 contracts at 25.15 in the Russell.
I'll sell you 5,000 and you buy 5. I got to find some more buyers.
And they did today.
And heck, after I sell you as many as your size, now I turn around and offer it where you just buy it. What do you have to do?
Turn around and get rid of that imbalance.
Or freeze.
Right.
But that's why I really like the volume tools for order flow.
Good stuff there. All right. How can I apply to VIPs? VIP season 4 we're in right now is ending on November 21st. So stay tuned in to TopstepTV. We'll make announcements on whatever is the process for the next season of VIPs. But make sure you tune into TopstepTV to find out. All right. Gold continuing to make new all-time highs as we speak. The markets are still trading. 43.50 new all-time high in gold. Let's take a look at the wow. I mean, Andre keeps saying it. He's just like, I'm concerned. This is not healthy. Gold should not be moving like this, Coach Paul.
Well, we're in a trade war.
Yeah. This looks like a meme coin.
Oh.
With 15% off of 5,000.
Yeah, that's where I think it's going. But it doesn't mean it's going to stop there. But no, right? It's intermediate. And when we see, oh my God. Now, gold is the trade. Now, in this trade war, who would be buying gold?
China,
Asia, perhaps even India.
All of China's friends. BRICS.
We're not going to put money in U.S. treasuries, aka the dollar. We're just going to buy gold.
Yep.
And this is, I'm not going to get political. Game is on.
Yeah.
Read The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Do yourself a favor.
Right.
We're in it. And I hope someone on our side is reading that. I don't have a side. I'm a trader.
Right.
But this is serious. Now, like I said, this reminds me of 79. This is in the same people were shocked. Gold, it can't go to 200. and it went to 800.
Yeah.
And then it broke and went back down to 200 about 15 years later. And at 200, the Bank of England dumped all of their gold at like $2.20, 220. I'll never forget. Okay, I took a big chunk of that.
Yeah.
I, I was like, you could have told me at the time. I didn't say, well, gold's going to $4,000.
Who would have thought?
Oh, you could say that, but whatever. But we're in the midst of it. And I'm just, yeah. And Andre's right to be concerned.
Yeah. So Chad says, please expand on that thought. What are we talking about? Art of war for gold. So let me try to summarize it here if I can. And if not, Coach Paul, I'm just going to give it to you and let you rock. But we are in a trade war. The president said it yesterday. We've been in a trade war all year since the escalations in tariffs. One of the biggest trade partners that we have is China. We can see that there, if you look at the U.S. sells debt, right? You look at the bonds, look at this bond chart. U.S. is continuing to sell debt and prices keep going lower. And we've heard of less investment coming into U.S. debt, right? Less investment by one of our biggest trade partners because of this trade war that we're in. But they have a ton of money that they need to invest somewhere. And I think we heard it last year that there was a initiative by the BRICS nations to use gold as their reserve currency. Is that right, Coach Paul?
Yes.
So the art of war, right? If I and read the book, but if I'm at war with somebody, I'm not going to continue to invest in their well-being, in their resources, right? So that money has to go somewhere else. And we're seeing a ton of central banks and a ton of investment coming into gold right now, which is accelerating these prices. We shared an article a couple months ago about it was like they tracked the month of investment in U.S. Treasuries from China, and it was I'm pretty sure the net change was zero for an entire month, where they just didn't buy anything. Right, that money again has to go somewhere, and we're seeing it go into gold aggressively, pushing price higher. Did I get that right, Coach Paul?
Yeah, very good. I wouldn't even, yeah. So where is it? Where is that excess going? It's going into gold. It's not going into bonds.
Right.
It's building up pressure. Now, what currency is rallying?
Gold.
Maybe the Swiss.
Right.
What has the Swiss been doing?
Let's take a look.
We think of Swiss, we think of gold.
Yeah. Swiss is up.
But it's not dramatically, but
no.
It's hard assets, gold, platinum, silver. Heck, silver is probably outperforming it. So, oh my God, this is about to double. I gotta buy some more silver.
Yeah, this is insane. It's moving silver.
Yeah, we could see $100 silver, no problem.
So Pie Trades in the chat says, so it's not an overnight investment. This gold is a long-term for these nations. Yeah, yes. That's what it seems like right now, right? Somebody asked, so if the trade war is over, then do gold prices come back down? Honestly, I think it depends at that point. If I've, depending on how long this lasts, right? If I've found another route, do I need to go back to something that no longer serves a purpose?
Well,
I don't know. We're getting kind of economic here, and I'm not an economist, but I mean, I don't know. How does this affect our day trading? Just find a spot to buy gold. But what do you think, Coach Paul? If the trade war is over and it's resolved, and it doesn't look like we're anywhere closer to a resolution, does it?
Oh, okay, well,
change?
That's why it's being pushed.
Right.
Give me hard assets. Now,
right.
If you for all our Asian listeners, I've studied up I actually had an office in Singapore and got to know the Asian mindset a little. That they've always invested in hard assets.
Mm,
We think of equities, stocks as wealth. You know, they
right.
don't. Well, I can't say they don't, but they believe in hard assets. It's more in their mindset. So, I mean, someone just says Diwali, gold, silver,
Mm,
the Indian culture. Silver is you would give silver to the bride on the wedding. I know there was when I first started, there was a index for silver prices based on the divorce rate in India.
wow.
Because if there was a divorce, to get rid of all the silver. But what I'm saying is, it's a different mindset. The rest of the world is, and this really started picking up momentum when when there was that meeting between India, China, Russia. You know, remember that picture? I almost put a date, and gold is just picked up. This is not. That's why I say trade war.
Yep.
Now, when does it stop? I don't know. As a technician, we'll see a blow off top.
Right. Man.
And believe me, the other, I don't say, I don't know when it's come, but when it does, it's why I'd rather trade futures
Yeah. You'd be a
for this
little
reason.
more
If you've
nimble.
traded cash metals,
Yeah.
okay, you go buy it. Guess what? You talk about fees, it's 10%.
Mm,
Right now, you buy an ounce of gold at 4,000, you're paying $400. Now, let- let's say it goes up $400, you want to get out.
yeah.
Guess what you're doing? You get another 10% fee. It's really expensive. I don't,
Yep.
maybe it's come down. I haven't done it in a while. But trade futures and get the leverage and less fees. Um, so up, but without going as an economist, because that's what really held me back when I was younger. But seriously, this is it. I mean, the game is on
Yes, it is.
now. This the thing that concerns me is trade wars through history. High percentages of them end in hot wars,
Mm,
and that really is concerning.
right. There you have it, chat. Good conversation here. Do what you can right now to find a place to buy gold. Again, that is not financial advice, but if you look at the chart, it just keeps going up. Again, continuing to make new all-time highs in gold, 43, 46, 70, new all-time high in gold. We'll see what happens tonight. Taking a look at a 30-minute chart here. We are just extended. Again, for me, I bought gold at 42.48, 42.28 last night for a quick little scalp trade. If I buy it again, I'm just closing my eyes. Wake me up when the markets close. Wake me up for at the buzzer. If I buy it again. That is not financial advice, again, but what a rally. I've been really liking the trade after that Shanghai Open. We did look below the Shanghai Open last night. But again, if your risk is in the right place and you're not over leveraged, I mean, here's the Shanghai Open from yesterday. Actually, this was last night. This was the day prior.
Yeah,
Shanghai Open again, and it's not always perfect, obviously, right? Shanghai Open 9 p.m. Eastern time. Here it is again. And no trade works 100% of the time, but continuing to push, continuing to push. Let's see if we continue here. All right. Anything else you got on gold?
Well, yeah, I imagine we'll see the same thing. Let's look at a volume profile from last night in gold, because remember, gold, the opening is Globex. I mean, it's when
Yeah.
Asia, when there's why Shanghai, it's the East, that's the beginning. Versus if you're trading equities, New York. If you're trading French equities, it's when when the French stock market opens. Gold is different. It opens, it's always open. Now, let's also put a VWAP with that. See if we can find this pattern in volume. So what time did that volume point of control and VWAP go over it?
Pretty early. Pretty early. So volume point of control was initially on the open was down at 42.26. It flipped up to 42.47, and then VWAP crossed above it kind of late in the day.
Late in the day, where and look at it picked up steam.
Mm-hmm.
The auction was at that time was over. It's like musical chairs. Okay, now shorts. Who are you going to buy it from?
Yeah.
Wow, and there was some. Oh, we had a J trade. There it is.
Oh yeah. Who wanted a J trade example?
How many likes do we have?
Let's see. We are at 134.
All we need is 16 more.
16 more. I'm gonna do a video, and this is the example. I'm gonna use the video. This is the exact trade. I'm gonna do it on right here. High volume, near the low of the session. This one wasn't exactly at the low. We close above it, and we never close below. Right? Does this trade work all the time? Nope. Showed an example in the S&P where it maybe wasn't the best version of it, but in this case, what's up, Scott? Scott is still here. Scott's like, get those likes up. Here we go. We have high volume near the lows of the session. Not always going to be exactly at the low. Ideally, it's exactly at the low. But high volume near the lows. Once we close above that, this is on a 3-minute chart now. We looked at it on a 3. You could look at it at a 30. Close above it. Stop goes on the other side. That's 15 points from where that close was. Pretty expensive. But that's why you could trade micros. We could see on this one, what's the difference in this one, chat, between the one that didn't work in the S&P? What's the difference? Oh, wait. See who gets it first. Gold is cooking. Yeah, it is, Chris. Difference is gold is cooking. Yeah, I mean, that could be the difference. Yeah. But what's the difference here? Why did this example work? We got to the likes. All right, there we go. 150. Hey, opa. All right.
Urgency, says Billy.
Urgency, right? VWAP eventually leaves this range. Volume waffles out and then reverses, but didn't notice the ES at the same time frame. So it broke the midline, but this VWAP eventually leaves the range, right? We chopped around for a little while. We get range bound markets. Maybe you can scalp this range, but once we close outside and then that volume starts to leave that range as well, then that's added confirmation that yes, buyers are continuing and they continued the rest of the day, right? In the S&P example that we had, that volume, and this was the low of the day, and I like what Coach Paul said there, we did make another low, but this volume never left that range to the upside, right? So even if I take this trade, if no one else is taking it with me, there's a limit to what the upside is on that. If everyone is buying it, everyone and their mom is buying gold right now, right? Lines around the store, lines around the corner in the stores trying to buy gold, then we have a flow that's going to continue to push us higher. So that is a perfect example there. We'll condense that into a 30-second video, but there you go.
Thank you, Coach Jay.
Thank you all. Thank you all. All right. We got 5 minutes left. Crude oil. Let's talk. Crude is selling Starting to sell. President might get his wish here. I just saw he had some comments saying he is still looking for $2. I would love to break $2 a barrel for gas. Also said he was looking for $55 in crude oil. What are you seeing on his crude daily chart?
Sideways movement, then sells. I mean, but it looks like it's going to go to the bottom of that range. Like I said, it's under the 200. Now, what's that? Yeah,
What's that?
I could see, but if we were getting close to 55, does that mean that we buy it?
I don't know. You said under 55. He didn't give us a price target. Maybe negative.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it's picking up momentum to the downside. The trend is definitely down, flat. Let's look at the bottom of that range to find, what is that, 53?
all the way down here.
Yeah.
Just use this candle, this daily candle that made the low. 50, 90, 92 up to 53 quarter.
So 53 in the console in that
Yep.
area. That's where it looks like the target. And it looks like we're going there.
Yes,
Now,
it does.
Is it because of production, or is it because of lack of demand?
A little bit of both.
If it's because of lack of demand, that is not good. Be careful what you wish for. What do I mean by that? If supply and demand, you could have an oversupply, but that oversupply could come from lack of demand, which, remember, crude oil is the lifeblood of the economics in the world.
Yep.
So, but what a trade today. Oh,
Still holding below that white line. Not trading at it, not hitting it, but continuing to reject at whole number levels. Today it was $59 a barrel. $59 price traded above. What did volume do? Did not trade above it. Empty price action up here. Nice rejection up at those highs. If we look
is
at
that London?
this was, middle of the London session, about an hour into the London session. Traded above 59. We've done this a couple times, right? Identify a major level, 59, whole number level. What is the candle that tests that level? And from that point, we can call that an event, right? The market traded above a whole number level. What did volume do from that point? It barely traded above. Right? And that's a decent signal to say that even if I don't short it, I might be the only buyer interested up here. That could keep me out of a trade.
Also, if I'm long,
if you're right, if you're already long into it, because you could have been, right? You could have been up 40 ticks on the trade. Time to start taking profits, or at least thinking about it, removing the risk from your trade. Paul H was outside the LME yesterday. Did you ask him about gold prices, where they thought gold was going?
Yeah. Ask about silver and copper.
Right.
What is copper? By the way, I haven't looked. Let's look at copper. Hey, copper.
This market looks insane.
Buy gold, sell copper to buy gold.
This market looks nuts. I would think it's we did trade it. We did trade 50% of it. Yeah, this market looks. All the other metals are maybe copper catches up one day.
I won't be around.
I'm not holding my breath for this one. Everything else is just presenting way more opportunity. Look at platinum. Just zooming. All right, let's answer some questions here, then we'll get out of here. As a new trader, how do you recommend managing trades, especially the stop loss? Coach Paul, you want to take that one? Or you want me to take it?
Yeah, two things. Read Trading in the Zone. 7 principles of consistent winning traders. In that is predefine the risk before you enter the trade. This has to happen. As if you're a new trader or undisciplined trader, you get in on an impulse and it doesn't, because most of the time trades are what? They don't work right away. It's almost like if they do, you're like, oh no. It's like getting a good fill. We used to say good fill, bad trade. Um, but having that measurement, whatever it is, percentage of capital, average true range, that has to be defined and reasonable before you enter the trade so you can put the stop in at a reasonable level. If it's too expensive, let the trade, let it go. So that's the key. It's you need to do that every time. If you've not, what happens? You're going to act. You're going to react emotionally.
Right.
So, a good question. What you have something to add to that, Coach?
Managing your trade, especially the stop loss. I'm gonna go with the Coach Paul suggestion. Right. Figure out how to trade good trade location and a 2 ATR risk on whatever time frame you take the trade. What does that mean? The ATR indicator right on the bottom of my charts here. I just pulled it up. You can see right over my head right here. That's the ATR value. Let's say I got long in platinum in this consolidation because I think that platinum is going to push higher because all the metals have been. 2 ATRs in this case was 8 points. Figure out how to trade with that 2 ATR stop, good trade location, and let your trades play out. That would be my biggest suggestion to a newer trader. You know, this is a stop that's based on, and this is bad trade location, right? This is buying at the high of the range on a breakout, right? That's bad trade location. So that 2 ATR stop is a market generated stop based on the volatility of the markets. A lot of times for newer traders, they're going to say, oh, I can't afford to lose $200. I can't afford to lose $500 on a trade. We can't try to fit the entire market into our accounts, especially if we're trading with a small account. We got to try to fit our account into the market. So market generated information stops. And then what you'll realize is, let's say you trade the NASDAQ, right? A lot of newer traders trade the NASDAQ. Also, to a newer trader, I'd probably suggest not to trade the NASDAQ. But I know a lot of people are going to do it. A lot of times what we'll see is a trader come in and they get in short on the NASDAQ. Let's say they want to short this breakout here. And they only want to lose 10 points because 10 points with a mini is $200. I can't afford to lose more than $200. In the NASDAQ, in this case, that would have been an 80-point stop, which means my stop is all the way up here, way out of the range of the market, and I'm looking for a 2-to-1. You get your 2-to-1 there. This is all Coach Paul. I'm just reiterating what I've learned in doing this. If I try to trade the NASDAQ with a 10-point stop, I could have gotten to the direction right in this case, and I'm out of the trade just because the market has to move, right? So that would be my suggestion. Widen out your stops. You might be watching this and saying, an 80-point stop, these guys are foolish, right? They're just asking people to blow accounts. Trade then with a contract size that your account can facilitate. 1 micro, 2 micros. 1 micro on a 160-point move in the NASDAQ. Somebody in the chat can do the math. That's a pretty damn good trade. Pretty good trade. We got some more time for some questions. Balaji said, we always talk about your trade plan. In a situation your plan is not available, but opportunity presents itself in another market, should one trade it, though not part of the plan for that day? So we have a trade setup. If your trade setup doesn't present itself in your primary market, should you trade it if you see it in another market if that wasn't part of your plan for the day? Say no. If your plan doesn't say scan for opportunity in whatever market presents itself, then that's your job to be patient until the market that you trade every day presents an opportunity. If your game plan for trading in general is just, I'm looking for whatever market presents this opportunity, then yeah, maybe you have a primary that you start with, but if that primary isn't presenting an opportunity, then it's okay to go to the secondary. But if you say right now, I'm going to be a Russell trader, I'm only going to trade the Russell when it presents my trade opportunities, there's just naturally going to be days where you don't take any trades. that should be okay, right? Because otherwise, what you get into is you start chasing opportunity when sometimes we need to know when to sit on our hands. Anything you would add to that, Coach Wall?
Yeah, I think what you said. Either you're going to look for opportunity in, say, 4 markets,
Right.
and if your trading plan fits it, you're ready for it. You understand the 4 markets, then that's what you do. It has to be part of your plan, or you have to build up to it. If it's and I love the idea.
Mhm.
We should, but you have to be prepared for it. Don't just do it because you feel you have to trade. But if you're prepared and you know the different markets and I would do this, start it in a practice account,
Yep.
understand it,
100%.
then start building your way into that. And I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I
But
do as well. But it has to be part of your plan going into it. But I definitely,
right.
it's how you trade, right, Coach Wall? One lot trader in 10 markets.
Yeah.
One lot trader in 10 markets. All right. I think we did it. We answered most of the questions. If we didn't answer your question, come back, join us tomorrow. We appreciate the attendance today, your attention, your questions. Your questions help us run the segment. Uh, Hitting that thumbs up button. We got to my like goal. We didn't. I said 175, but I'll take 150. But I'll put out that video. I'll put it together. The J Trade video. We'll make it a YouTube short, or I'll put it on Instagram, so we have that from there. Coach Paul, anything you got before we go for the day?
Once
Oh,
again,
Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Can we do Bitcoin? You got time?
yeah.
All right. I'm sorry, guys. Bitcoin, we got to go over because this is interesting. Uh, what are you seeing on this daily?
What is that white line?
This is the daily chart. That is the 200 moving average at 107.25. Again, shout out to Braden with that short that he had on. He said he held it all day. And Andre said it as well. I've never seen Braden so convicted in a trade, even if he's trading with bigger size. He's just like, this is going down and I'm not getting out until it does. If you didn't watch Fast Markets, replay it because that was a lesson in conviction in your trades. He knew what the risk was and he was willing to take it, and it paid. I think the trade actually he was up about $1,000 in the trade. It actually came back, and he was in the negative, and he's just like, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving this trade. And do you agree with that trade management style or not? You don't have to. It worked out for him, and like you said, Coach Paul, you put in the stop. If he wasn't watching it, you don't even know that that happens, right?
Well, I still would have a stop in.
Oh yeah, yeah. You have to have a stop in for sure.
Yeah, he did have a stop in, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yep.
And then he moved it to unchanged.
Once he took profits. Yep.
And great, it was a great trade. But let's say we're that's so funny is you would expect Bitcoin to be moving with gold,
Right.
but it's become sadly institutionalized.
Moving like the equities. All the
Moving like
suits got
that.
into crypto and they ruined it.
And now let's look at the half hour because I think this had urgency.
We've been under that 200 moving average on the 30-minute for a while now, a couple days. Yeah, Braden made about $3,000 on that trade. Nice trade by Braden. Here we go.
No, there was no urgency.
No urgency last
It was
night.
just that that range is the definition of a dead cat bounce. Just wow, it's in trouble. It's got to hold this 200-day moving average, but it's picking up a momentum to the downside. Where oh, keep an eye on that.
Look at the volume point of control from yesterday. This is gotta make it red. Volume point of control from yesterday. What did VWAP do today? Price traded above it. Volume never traded above yesterday's volume point of control. So we stayed in this value area until we broke out. And then once we broke out of that value area,
Yeah, look at it. I mean, just look at that candle.
right.
And
Pretty
VWAP
pretty
started
aggressive selling
turning
there.
under. It never got over. Did it get over the volume point of control?
From
No.
yesterday, it peaked above it. It peaked above it, but every time price went above there, there was no volume in that move to the upside, no buying. Let's take a look. We said that Bitcoin starts to move like the equities. Let's look at the equity open. Here it is right here. Some of the stuff on the charts. That is the equity open from there. Again, Braden was short from about 11. I can't even remember exactly what his price was, but either way, no flow to the upside in this market. No flow to the
Wow.
upside.
Nice.
Let's see where the bottom is. OPEX tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. It's crazy to say that tomorrow's Friday. It feels like today's Tuesday, but it's Thursday. One more day. Coach Paul, anything else? Oh, Coach Hoop, cattle. He was like, no one talks about cattle. New all-time highs in cattle. Another market that is continuing to grind to the upside.
Grind. It's
Grind, run,
gold with hoofs.
stampede, right? Gold with hooves. That's good.
But
That is good.
Wow. And put the gold chart up next to it.
Let's do this. There's a way for me to change this. Let's make these candles. There you go. Gold and cattle. I think it's using the gold price scale, but you guys get it.
Yeah. Wow.
It's using a percentage price scale. Percentage scale. Interesting. I don't like this.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, nice. And they had urgency this morning. I mean, by the way, cattle, they just you can't print them. You have to raise them.
Interesting. Interesting stuff.
Yeah. Chicken's looking better all the time.
Huh. Oh man, speaking of chicken, I didn't take any out of the freezer. What am I gonna eat tonight? Damn, probably gonna have to order some food. All right. Anything else you
Have a
got?
salad.
Yeah, eat a salad, right? With these cattle prices. Anything else you got before we go, Coach Paul?
Nothing else. I'm glad. Yeah, OPEX tomorrow. Just about every Friday, but trade the plan. Plan your trade, and that's it.
Awesome stuff. Coach Hoop is doing his class in Discord in about a half an hour from now for that market reopen. Then we have Coach Ray and Coach Vince, 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Central Time. Coach Dakota with slow markets tonight at 7:30. Barron is going to be joining him. We have Aaron for the London Open, 1:30 a.m. Central Time. No London session with D. Tomorrow's Friday. D doesn't work on Fridays. So no session with D. And then, of course, we'll be back for the opening call tomorrow. Thanks, everyone, for joining. As always, appreciate you all being here. We cannot do these shows without you. Coach Paul, great stuff. Coach Hoop, thank you for moderating this for us. Talk to everyone tomorrow. Don't do anything crazy. Tomorrow's Friday. We'll see you then.
Bye.